that one thing we have to remember is there are international voices, and that would include some Americans, that think that it would be best for the U.S. to give away the internet. Again, they seem to forget that we invented it, we built it, we paid for it, we run it. I don't know what other country develops something and then just gives it away. You know, I mean, aside from, I guess, the Panama Canal, but but anyhow, if you think about it, we produce things. You know, other countries have things that are kind of famous for and well known for, and the question becomes, why should we give this up? We share the internet with the world, and we don't really profit by it. In other words, we don't sell the rights to other countries to connect to our internet. They just can't. And I think that's interesting because we built for it, we paid for it. I don't know what other country would do that. You can ask yourself, you know, what would Putin do? You know, what would China or Iran do? These are some fair questions. But the bottom line is, we've never cut off access to the internet. You know, with Iraq during the, you know, they cut it off to their own people, so they lied to them about what's going on in the war. But we never did. When Iran or North Korea are misbehaving, we don't cut off their access to the internet. That's an interesting point because, I don't know if you remember, but back in 2009, in the middle of the winter, Putin was involved in some negotiations with Ukraine. Gee, that's in the news again this week, wasn't it? Anyhow, he cut off their natural gas supply in the middle of the winter. And so ask yourself, if Putin were in charge, how would this work?
Probably none of you, when you arrived here this morning, thought about the internet as an issue that conservatives specifically needed to care about. You probably also didn't think that energy was something that you specifically needed to care about as a conservative. Look at the photo that's on here, the dark photo that's on here. Those of you who have that and can see it, what is that dark photo of? North Korea. And North Korea and South Korea, correct? And John, you want to, if you want one, raise your hand and John will give it to you. But when you look at this picture, you can see the role that energy plays in freedom. You look at North Korea, which is a communist country, and you see that it is totally what? Dark at night. And then you look at South Korea, which is a free market, democratic, and developed country, and how is it at night? It's light. See, energy and freedom are directly connected. And why should you care about this today? You should care about this because our president has policies that are pushing America towards North Korea. Our president has policies, energy policies specifically, that are making energy more expensive and harder to get.
So I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get the government out of your stomach because it is limiting your choices as a consumer and is costing you money. I'm here to speak about food freedom, specifically what's going on with the GMO fight right now. How many of you are familiar with GMO? Show of hands. Good, so we've got a pretty good crowd here. For those of you who aren't familiar, GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. And basically it's the fusion of science and of agriculture. They've used some tools in science to develop crops that require less water, are more resistant to drought, to pests,